6,670 pounds, a beautifully well-kept half-ton towable rear kitchen super slide couples camper coming in here at Haylett RV Brokers of Coldwater, Michigan, sister store to Haylett RV, just down the street. This is where we do consignment sales, where we sell things for folks. There's a, actually, let me get over here. This RV, it's seen some use, but it has been fantastically kept. Like you can see these folks, they kind of started up here in the Midwest, and then they went down south, and then they kind of worked their way out west. But you don't see that kind of use on this RV. The tires are basically new. They upgraded to more ride steps. They even put the toolbox on there in place of the original steps. There's a soft start kit on the air conditioner to make it easier to run for generators. I see it's all set up for 2 batteries up front. They upgraded to 30-pound propane tanks. They did some interior updates. I mean, this thing has been fantastically well kept. And I've seen tens of thousands of RVs in my career. I get super numb to this stuff. And every now and then I'll walk into one and I literally said out loud, wow, wow. Like, this one was well kept. It was kept well. Obviously, that's just repeating myself like the Department of Redundancy department. But it should give you an idea how I felt about it. Like, they upgraded the shades to these nicer, like, slat style shades. They did a couple things, like they painted a couple things for accents, like on the dinette they got rid of some of the padding and just introduced some new wood that they painted, but nothing looks cobbled together. Everything looks really well done with a lot of intention. You can see how they had resurfaced like the dinette cushions there. The countertops, the floors, the woodwork, everything has been cleaned. You know, there's actually some accessories, like there's a TV next to me that they added that was not a factory component. These folks added things to this RV that, you know, they didn't take away out of it when they were done. You still have the full extension drawers below the dining area right there. And both the dining tabletop as well as all the kitchen countertops and all the countertops, basically, they're a sealed edge press membrane material. So, you know, there's also, I mean, if you look at the surface, you can see the shine. The dining table tends to get a lot of use. And you can see how it's not scuffed up, scarred up. They didn't like accidentally, you know, drop their forks, tines first and dig into it or anything like that. You've got the nice big pantry back here in the corner. I mean, everything is looking great in here. I can't find anything that I'm not happy about in this RV, actually. Like, I can see where they had done some updating to the light fixtures and you know, enhancing to LED bulbs instead of traditional incandescents. One of the things they added over here in the kitchen is this nice little stovetop cover to kind of expand your prep space, and I like those double windows, and you can see easy reach outlets. One of the swaps they made from factory, right here there would have been a pair of very basic rocking swivel chairs, not recliners. And evidently what they like to do here is they have this little fold-out or floating bench that they would pull up, probably to be like a footrest ottoman for in front of the sofa. And then they put like this lounger overlooking this big picture window. I got a feeling somebody like to sit there. I think they like to kick up their feet. I think they like to take a look out at the big campsite picture window here and enjoy the sights, and who knows, maybe they slid open that window and enjoyed the sounds of their destination. Good cabinet space in this one. Rear kitchens are always good for cabinet space and prep space. But one of the things I like about this one, it's a one slide RV, but between that big picture window and the dual big picture windows over here, it always has such a nice, big, large feeling. Not to mention the fact that all of the seating can kind of point inward. So if you do have guests, I've always felt that a rear kitchen is like one of the best entertainers floor plans out there. Now that TV, as I mentioned previously, that was not a standard piece of equipment. You can see how the previous owners popped that up there. That's pretty good size. I'm going to shoot from the hip here, but that's, I don't know, 39-ish inches, maybe slightly smaller, but in that neighborhood. You know, a couple little accent things like this that they added from their favorite little home decor store. Like, you know, you go to Target, and then you're like, oh, all I need is bread. But then you walk by the picture frames, right? And you're like, oh, Target, you got me again. Then they got this kind of little stuff over here, just nice little touch stuff, but they never did any major modifications. Big picture window here in the hallway. And just little stuff like this. Just to make sure this door, if somebody flung it open, wasn't going to ding up the wall, they put a little, you know, bounce pad right there. Just little stuff like that. Now, the shower looks like it's swimming in Kool-Aid, but that's because this RV is winterized currently. And to make sure it is winterized, you do need to bleed a little bit of that out of the shower lines, but obviously they did the job properly, and they have that accomplished. Easy entry corner shower here, no big tub step up, with a larger Max Air style vent fan above. It's actually 3 speeds, and you can see how it's like really clean. That right there is a really good indicator that this is an RV that was kept in excellent shape and working order. People who tend to take down the screens and clean their fans tend to be people who really, really do an ace job taking care of their campers. You can see you got a floor-to-ceiling linen cabinet over there right next to that dual entry. And there is a sliding privacy door over there, by the way. So you have hard closing doors, basically, for, you know, both of the entries to the bathroom or the bedroom, as it were. If you want to add some TV action here in the bedroom, it is ready for it. It looks like the previous owners never did that. They left their entertainment to the living room area. And then up front here, it's not as obvious, but they replaced the original Camper Queen with a nice True Queen. That does mean you're doing kind of a situation where your butt kind of rubs against the wall when you're scooting around the bed, but it ain't really that bad. Even myself, is, you know, I'm a little thick around the midsection. I can get around that thing, no sweat. And just like in the hallway, big window over here to let you take a look at the campsite of your RV. Hear a funny little sound like a raccoon at night on your picnic table. You can take a peek without ever really even getting dressed and putting on pants. And stepping outside that window on the front corner here, we get a look at our power awning. And I mentioned this previously, but if you take note, they had removed the original factory steps. And one of the cool things that MoRide offers is you can swap out, you know, factory steps for like this handy little toolbox if you do choose to upfit a previously existing RV to a set of MoRide steps. Those are Goodyear Endurance Radials. They are less than 2 years old by checking out the timestamp code on them. Beautiful aluminum wheels. And you can see you've got a keyless entry door pad on there as well. Kind of handy. Nice little side mount grilling station. This does have a side solar prep plug. And this is one of the areas where I first noticed this thing. I was like, when I saw it from the outside, I'm like, okay, it looks pretty good. And then I got in here and I started looking at the pass-through. And there's a couple objects in here, but looking at the actual physical condition of everything, I went, oh, this might be one of those diamonds in the rough. And indeed it is. This thing has been exceptionally well kept. Those white things, by the way, they are tire covers. So when this RV, you know, was being stored, or even when it reached a sunny destination, they were taking preventative measures to make sure that their tires didn't dry rot. Now, the folks, obviously, if you, you know, remember the map that we saw in this earlier, they spent some time down in the Sun Belt. They did some sunbird camping instead of snowbird camping. Yet the RV doesn't really look chalky, doesn't look faded, it doesn't look, you know, a little bit sun-kissed. So that means they did a good job keeping on top of their care, maintenance, conditioning, cleaning, and all those kinds of things. You've probably noticed the big slide awning up there doing the job of it. Kind of, you know, it of course reduces the amount of debris that can fall on top of that slide, but it's also basically just like the awning on your patio. It's shading the slide to help control the heat in the RV. You've got a 200-pound rated cargo rack on the back there. My notes indicate this actually has 2 spare tires. Obviously, there's one. I haven't really looked around too hard for the other. It's probably in the pass-through under the tire covers. Now, in addition to this cargo rack, it's interesting. They actually put on a little, you know, bolt-style receiver on the bumper for some light-duty stuff. Maybe they just didn't like the idea of flipping that rack upside down. I don't know. But you may also notice this does have a Furrion backup camera. Not just prep, but actually installed. So this is something that, turn the key, hit the road, throw in some applesauce and mac and cheese, and buddy, you're camping. This one is ready to rock and roll. You got that awesome patio, great campsite wide open here with no slides eating up your campsite and big window. She's a winner. She's a winner. This is the kind of used RV that you go searching for, and it gets picked off fast usually when they're in good shape and have a lot of upgrades like this. So give us a call. Take care. Stay safe. Have fun. And happy Haylet camping ever. Oh, I just noticed one more thing. Looks like they had added on a couple little sewer hose caddies here, so you can keep your black tank stuff away from your fresh water stuff. Well, that smells like a good idea to me.